The game that had so many revivals that the game quite literally fell down because of the revivals. What game are we talking about? Clash Royale. This game was terrible. Okay, let's be honest, okay? This game, when it first came out, it was awesome. It was cool. It was amazing. Then after that, it slowly died off and boom, terrible as hell. Clash Royale is such a terrible game in my opinion nowadays where, when I play this game, it's like, where was the fun? Right? Literally. Here's the thing. Clash Royale, it's so pay to win and it's so bad and it's so grindy, okay? And it's not meant for you to be grindy. It's meant for you to go ahead, collect some decks, upgrade to the max, and fight your ass off. That's what Clash Royale reminds me of, right? Trophy pushing, fight your ass off, upgrade a little bit, boom, you're done. You have a game. That's what Clash Royale is. And then they made it so bad to the point where you have to spend money in order for you to just max out a single deck or maybe a single card or something like that. And it's terrible in my opinion, and honestly I want to talk about it. I've talked about this throughout a lot, and I did actually stress before that I think Jinxie bringing back Clash Royale was a terrible thing because I think the game deserves to be back when the game is fixed, okay? Here's the thing. When someone brings back a game like Minecraft, for example, PewDiePie back in 2019 when everyone said it was dead, PewDiePie brought it back and Minecraft did really well. They added the Nether update, they added the villager update, the mountain mayhem, and so much more, right? And that made Minecraft better again. Minecraft realized, hey, there's greater communities, let's just add more things, right? Clash Royale did the opposite. What they did was, sure, they added new things, but the thing is, it damaged the players because it was so pay to win. Now, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with pay to progress, okay? I really don't. If you have to pay to progress, at least have something to max some stuff out, right? Like Brawl Stars, for example. Brawl Stars is a really amazing example for this. Brawl Stars is a game where if you want to max an level account, you have to pay to progress. You have to pay for the Brawl Pass. You have to pay for all these things in order for you to pay to progress. Keep this in mind, Brawl Stars, despite it giving you pretty much a lot of things, it still requires some money if you want to max everything out. Other than that, it's not pay to win and it's not free to play. It's just pay to progress. And if you're playing this free to play, hey, a few level brawlers, then in there, boom, you have a game. And hell, Brawl Stars actually gives you a lot of crazy things too. Hell, when I first played the game within the first year, I started a brand new account back in 2000 and when it first came out in 18 or something like that, or 17. I made an account. First year, I got like 2-3 brawlers maxed out. That's actually a lot. Now, I made a brand new account literally just last year. I got 20 brawlers max account, Even then, Brawl Stars is a game where you pay to progress, but at least you have some stuff maxed out. You have some stuff at least working with you. Clash Royale is not. Clash Royale, it's not that type of game like Brawl Stars. It's a game where you try to max out everything and then use whatever deck and then kill off the opponent, trying to destroy their towers. That's pretty much what Brawl Stars is. I mean, Clash Royale, Jesus. Even then, Clash Royale doesn't do that. What it does is once they see the community maxed out, okay, then they say, let's add a level 15. Boom, just add a level 15, right? Now, I'll be fair, I forgot I was talking about it, and I was like, wait a minute, let's see my notes. So, yeah, I literally had to leave for a second. But anyways, so I was going to say, is as soon as they start, right, with that level, 14, and like everyone hits level 14, they go, yeah, let's hit level 15, right? And then boom, they introduce a new concept, right? And I think that's when I quit, and I think that's when I realized Clash Royale is just a game where it just feels boring, It feels terrible, and it feels awful. I mean, this game just, it's there, right? I remember when Clash Royale came out and they said, hey, let's bring a level 15. I remember everybody was so angry on this because it was so pay to win. If not, it was kind of pay to progress, but in a pay to win area. You would have to buy certain things in order for you to upgrade a certain deck or something like that. I remember, again, like I said, when it first came out, right? I quite literally, level 15, I quite literally spent money in order for me to at least max out a deck or two. And even then, it felt boring and it felt terrible. Hell, that's when I quit, let's be honest. When Jinxie brought it back, I looked at this and I was like, this is the most terrible idea I have ever seen. Not to hate on Jinxie or anything. The dude, I love his content, okay? But the reason why I didn't like it is because Clash Royale is the type of game and the type of developers where they kind of have to have, you know, something in the game that goes wrong so they can fix it, right? That's the problem with these types of developers, is they have to have something where it's like the game has to die off, or the game has to have a lot of hate in order for it to somewhat revive itself. Now, one of the best examples I can probably give is when the game had a lot of hate when it comes with the hero shards. So what is the hero shards? Let me explain. So the hero shards is pretty much hero evolution, okay? So pretty much what it is you have 6 shards and you evolve this character and it has different power and stuff like this, right? Sounds cool as a concept, okay? Here's the problem. You would get 1 shard every single month as a free-to-play player, right? 1 shard every single month. Meaning, if you want to max out just one singular character, 6 months worth playing. That is crazy. When the game got a lot of backlash, they did not listen at all, to the point where people were quitting, and then they went, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, let's just probably add a little more shards. The thing is, the shards is a great concept, right? I like the evolution type thing. The problem is, they did it so poorly, people had to literally voice out their opinions, and the game ended up somewhat in a decline, and then they went, let's do this. Now, the game went popular. And the crazy part is, when Jinxie came out, a lot of the stuff needed to be fixed. And the thing is, the game was somewhat fixing these things from the beginning because the game was dying. Let's be real, okay? And when Jinxie brought it back, it was like the game isn't going to learn its lesson. These developers aren't going to learn its lesson. So then it just felt like, oh, let's just repeat the same mistakes again. And then you have, you know, a superhero type stuff that's like pay to win. I don't know what's in Clash Royale anymore. All I know, it's so pay to win. Everyone hates it because now it's quite literally impossible not only to max out account, but probably even get a whole bunch of decks. And I think that's the problem. The problem with Clash Royale is it literally makes you spend money in order for you to quite literally get max level accounts. Again, I have no problem with spending money on games, right? Game developers need money. I get it, right? And the thing is, I understand why they need money so they can make the game rolling, and it's all that whole cycle, right? And the thing is, if you're so greedy to make more money, you're just not seeing the player base. All you're seeing is a downfall. It's kind of like what Jinxie said, okay? Pretty much what he said was, I saw this video and he said, in order for the game to earn more money, they have to add less microtransactions, right? He didn't say it like that, but I'm just kind of narrow it down. Meaning, if the game developers somehow made, you know, money, right? Not a requirement to pay to win, and you know, just moving on progression, right? They can still earn more money, just less of it, right? But over time, they'll earn more money, if that makes sense. And if you are focusing on money right now, you're probably going to gain a lot of money, but over time, you're actually going to gain less money. And that's what Clash Royale did. They focused on the money. They literally made everything possible monetization. And at the end of the day, the game died off because they just focus on that money. At the end of the day, my favorite game out of all of these games is probably Brawl Stars, okay? Now, let me explain. Brawl Stars listens to their community. And not only that, the game isn't pay to win. It is actually pay to progress. However, I will say it is actually a lot easier than you think to unlock a lot of brawlers. Since there is a whole bunch of brawlers, it's actually a lot easier to do that. And it's also a lot easier to max out a lot of brawlers than back in the day when hypercharges came out and all these crazy stuff came out. But hell, at least they listen to the community and they do a lot of these things. Yeah, sure, they make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm not gonna lie. I make mistakes, you do. Everyone is human. We all make mistakes. But at the end of the day, you have to understand some mistakes is so scarring. The scar will never, ever disappear. And I think that's what Clash Royale did. Clash Royale did that scar. At the end of the day, it's gone. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about Clash Royale. Do you guys still play it? Do you guys not? I have a lot of people who I know actually plays the game. But at the end of the day, it's just a dead game. Yeah. That's it. Make sure you like and subscribe. This video literally made me depressed because I was like, I love the game, dude. I don't know if you know this. Okay, before I end the video, let's be honest here, okay? I love this game, okay? And I played this game when it first came out, I think 2016 or something. I don't know when it first came out, but I played this game for a very long time. I played this game, I think when level 11 or 12 came out, somewhere around then. But even then, I played this game, right? I loved it. I played it. I had the same account for a very long time. I ended up deleting it and then play it again. Vice versa, you know, it just came back and forth. But I always played the game. I always loved the game. I've always, you know, this game kind of was one of the best games I've ever had. Hell, this game was probably the first game I've ever had in my phone when I first got a phone, quite literally. So yeah, Clash Royale kind of meant something, right? I wanted this game to succeed. I think this game was really fun, and I even introduced this to my mom at some point, and she said, yeah, this game was fun. She never played it, but even then, this game was fun, right? And I do enjoy the game, but I do think that in order for this game to pass, I think it sadly has to go in a really, really bad decline. A lot of game developers nowadays, you know, does try to focus on players and monetization at the same time, which I do respect. I don't know the state of Clash Royale at the moment, right? You know, I know it's just completely dying off. I don't know what they have or what they don't have. I'm just saying this out of my past experiences and just, you know, the psychological, I guess, phenomenon when it comes with game developers and how they, you know, think, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, I don't know when it comes with Clash Royale and when it comes with all these stuff, you know, I love the game. I played this game when it first came out, and it kind of heartbreaks me to even make this video because I really enjoyed this game, and I was sadly right? I was sadly right when Shinxi made the game alive. I knew that they're going to make a mistake that's going to be completely outrageous, and I don't know. This game really, like, in my opinion, it deserves a lot more love. It does, right? And I think they need to remove a lot of features now, especially now, and they need to somewhat rework the game a little bit to at least make it, you know, not pay to win, but like at least make it pay to progress, right? I think we're all fine with pay to progress as long as you give us max out stuff. We'll be fine. At least once a year we have something really cool, maybe 3-4 decks maxed out or something. You know, the game has a lot to offer, and honestly, I don't want this game to die right now. This game, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just heartbreaks me to make this video, and it heartbreaks me to even just make this video again a few years later, you know, them not learning their lesson. I do sadly think that the game will die out eventually, probably within the next year or two, if they probably don't learn anything at all. It's going to have the same mistake as Squad Busters, Squad Busters? I don't know what it's called, but Squad Busters is pretty much what it is. It's a game that was by Supercell, and Supercell did not listen to the community at all, especially to people like Kairos and all of these other creators out there. And since it was a casual game, you know, it literally was a mess, and it failed. And that game I actually loved and I adored. I just didn't play it anymore because it was boring and they did a lot of mistakes. But overall, yeah, with Clash Royale, you know, I love this game. I hope one day it succeeds. I hope one day it will do all these things. You know, at the end of the day, all I can say is I hope Brawl Stars, or not Brawl Stars, I hope Clash Royale, okay? Let's be honest. I hope Clash Royale can, you know, go back where it was, right? Can move on forward and find its own way. But at the end of the day, I do think that Clash Royale, for some unknown reason, it's a game where it has to die in order for it to thrive, right? And there's going to be a lot of mistakes, I'm not going to lie, if you know what I'm saying. But, you know, I would rather the game fix these mistakes and then repeat minor mistakes than just keep on repeating and then end off dying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. I don't have to end this video. Like, I I do like Clash Royale, let's be honest. I do. I just have a hard time playing the game. It's there. At the end of the day, you know, it's a game, and, you know, not all things can last. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, make sure to like and subscribe. That's pretty much it. And other than that, I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.